Like, I don't know. It's just really coming to me that a bitch is moving out. Like,
The caption says, point of view, that Lil Teeth stud said you getting evicted, so you got to pack up your apartment.
I don't know. It's just really coming to me that a bitch is moving out. Like, I'm almost done with the closet. Like, what the fuck? This bathroom is done. I mean, closet out, closet clean. I took everything down, everything off the wall. Honestly, all I have to do is leave a room. Oh, she poo poo. Good girl. All I gotta do is pack up Leo's room. The kitchen is nearly done. All I gotta do is take down my liquor bottles that have you bitches in a frenzy. I don't know why my liquor bottles got y'all so motherfucking tight, but they do. Everything else is packed. Just gotta do this shit right here. I don't even know how I'm gonna fit all these clothes in that suitcase. I'm gonna use this laundry bag and this Akira bag too, but I'm almost done.
This is why a lot of brothers is choosing to live alone now. This is why a lot of brothers is choosing to live alone now. Does she seem like a homemaker at all? If anything, that does not seem like a peaceful environment whatsoever. It seems like she is attracted to chaos, and it's reflected. As soon as she went in that living room, I already was picking up on it. But as soon as she went in that living room, it was just chaotic, just chaos. Everything was thrown on the floor. It wasn't even really no system for how she was moving. She just throwing everything on the floor. I saw the stripper pole in the middle of the living room. It's just chaotic. Really, really get a feel for this again.
It do. Everything else is packed. Just gotta do this shit right here. I don't even know how I'm gonna fit all these clothes in that suitcase. I'm gonna use this laundry bag and this Akira bag too.
She just got too much going on. Why would you want to have this as your environment while you moving? I don't know. Hey, do you? I I was expecting some R&B or something, but she seems like she likes to have a good time. She likes to have a good time, and hey, keep doing it. Keep doing it just where you are. Y'all, before we get into the next clip, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And it's literally just a click. Literally just a click. So if you're here anyway, you might as well click that like button. And also, if you can hype the video as well.
Y'all, we done came a long way and everything, and today I got some very, very important and sad news. I'm not gonna lie. So, my landlord, he actually is in the process of evicting me. I know it's crazy, it sounds wild and everything. I'm really gonna be explaining everything on a YouTube video. This was just to shortly, briefly, just go over everything. I got my reason for not leaving everything right now, so I got put to the court. But yeah, man, we have to go through this whole process and all that. I told y'all I've been stressed with my financial issues, literally. Like, I've been trying my hardest, been trying to do everything I possibly can to maintain and just do good and best for my family and all that. I'm not gonna lie, but y'all, it's kind of traumatizing for this to happen because I literally just came back from Puerto Rico and just got hit with this. Now I got to deal with this case and just figure out as much as I can so I don't got to leave this crib. Like, shout out to all my friends and family for helping me out with this process, but I really need you guys' help right now. Anybody that sees this and everything, if y'all can contact me or hit me up to just help me out a little bit so I can get everything rolling, get the ball moving, all that. That would be great, y'all. But I literally got like the whole thing written up. I don't want to show y'all too much and all that because it got a case number and all that right there. But yeah, man, I'm be explaining everything on my YouTube video, so y'all can go see that. It's gonna be way longer. I didn't want to take too much of y'all time and all that, but this is a crazy, crazy process right here. I'm not gonna cap it. And I keep everything real with y'all, so we gonna just see what we can do, man. We're gonna see what we do. Hard times, bro. Y'all, we done came a long way.
So did he say he just came off of vacation? Did he say he just came off of vacation? And the thing is, I was skimming his content, his comments, excuse me, a little bit. And it looks like he doesn't have a job. So he decided to be a full-time content creator. I'm looking at one comment right here. It says, because you left the job with consistent income to do content. That's a hit or miss nowadays. And I could have swore he just said he was just in Puerto Rico. So, brother, your priorities is all wrong. How you just coming from Puerto Rico and you ain't even took care of home base? You worried about going outward instead of making sure that all your responsibilities was taken home at your headquarters. And so now you're about to lose out on that. And so this is what I always say. You got people quitting their perfectly good job to do content that they could have still done around their job anyway. A lot of their content is usually lifestyle based content. So it's usually things you're going to do anyway, you just record it. So, yeah, you can't have too much pride to go get a job. Otherwise, you're just going to be prideful and you're going to be prideful under a bridge and you're a grown man. So nobody's going to care about you.
So in this video, y'all, I want y'all to tell me who wrong in this situation. You gotta look through it from the landlord eyes, but if you a tenant, then you gotta look from that perspective, right? So in this video, a landlord had kicked out the person who was renting out his spot. But it was in the rain, y'all. Look at this.
They putting our stuff out in the rain, y'all. In the rain. 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 This guy, James right here. This guy right here is putting our stuff out in the rain.
This stuff was out there before the rain. You sat there waiting time. No, don't wait. He said you sat there and waited before the rain even came. Wasting and taking your time.
In the rain, y'all. I begged for them to wait. We was getting
Uh-oh. My bad.
So in this video, y'all, I want y'all to...
I begged for them to wait. We was getting everything. Literally, I begged. We black. We all black here. We all black here.
In the rain, it wasn't raining when they left. They don't care. They didn't look at the forecast. No one gave a fuck.
It was always gonna rain.
I never knew it was
If we
gave a fuck because it's not still. Damn. This is so fucked up. Wow. I hope all y'all reap what the fuck y'all sow. I hope and I pray, Lord. If there's a God above, I hope you fucking hear me because this ain't fucking right.
I ain't gonna lie, when the sister was saying that, like, damn, you heard it in her pain. Like, damn, y'all couldn't even do this another day? I understand it, but in the rain? Not only I gotta go find somewhere to go, but my belongings about to be here unattended.
So what you think they're going to do? You think they don't work when it rains? That hurts their pocket. So what? They're going to have a job now to where if it rains, you're not going to make your money. If they don't make their money, whether it rains or not, then they can't pay their bills. So that means that they're blessed to still be able to work even when it's raining. But sadly, the nature of their job is eviction. So that means that rain or not, they're going to be evicting somebody in the rain. Otherwise, what are they even at work for? So the rain's not going to stop anything because they still got to go to work. Otherwise, if it stops everything, then they don't get to work. So they're going to miss out on their check because of the weather. No. Especially since the fact that if they're ending up going somewhere, that means that the people didn't move out when the judge told them to move out. So the landlord had to go file something else called a writ of eviction to move them out expeditiously. So that's why they can still do their job, rain or not, because you've been given multiple notices. You've been given plenty of time, plenty of preparation.
Somewhere to go, but my belongings about to be here unattended. People can just take it. Not only that, go to Walmart to go find something to cover it and get a hotel. Nah, y'all dead ass wrong. But at the same time, I'm not a landlord. So all the landlords, if you in here and you watching me, you comment down below and y'all let me know, is this how I'm supposed to go? Is it just business without feeling? So in this video, y'all.
It's not about business. It's about you've had plenty of time to prepare. They even in the clip said, y'all didn't check the weather forecast. You could have checked it when you were given notice of when you needed to be gone by. Now, we actually already reviewed this video. I'll put the video that I did at the end of this video in the recommended. So let's just look at some of these comments in his comment section and see what the general sentiment is. So the first comment says the rain doesn't stop anything. They were supposed to be gone, yet she's standing in the rain yelling while he record. The next comment says it's an eviction. You knew before that rainy day came that you had to move. Evictions take a long time to move through the courts. Being black has nothing to do with this situation. How long did they intend to live rent free in someone else's property? Always business, never personal. And that's another thing that you have to address. Every day that you allow whatever external things or whatever excuses to stall you ultimately getting them out of your house, that's more time that's going by that they're not paying, because we have to remember the nature of this thing to begin with, which is that they have not been paying their rent. So that means they're sitting in your property not paying, as well as the fact that you really want to get them out of there as soon as possible, because sometimes tenants can get kind of spiteful. And by spiteful, the longer you leave them in there, the more damage they can actually do to your property maliciously. So that's another thing you have to look out for. The timing could be the difference between tens of thousands of dollars of damage. And especially if you can do it in a way to where it's unexpected, I think that that's ideal. Another comment says horrible. At least they should have gave them time to go get U-Haul, or usually give them a couple hours to get people to get out. I did this in the city of Detroit, even if they did have a week notice, but it's still a human being. Also, this is not okay. It's still a human being, but what about the human being that's not getting paid, that could potentially face the risk of eviction themselves because they're not getting the revenue that they're counting on? As well as these human beings that you don't know when I say these human beings, I'm talking about the workers who were on site that day. For all you know, they could have left the office and the office told them, you need to get these 5 houses done by the end of the day. And so now by them waiting and stalling, they could possibly be seen as inefficient because they had to stall because it rained. Now they only got 2 of the 5 houses done. And now they're behind on their metrics. Now, again, they face the risk of losing their job, which could then down the line end up in them getting evicted. We always want to just have direct sympathy for the people who are the first offenders. And by first offenders, I mean that they drew first blood, i.e., they didn't pay their rent and they were bold enough to pull it and they didn't care. And they've been living rent free without a worry in the world this whole time. And then all of a sudden, when it's finally time to get your just desserts, then you think somebody's supposed to owe you something and supposed to look out for you when you slighted them first. And you didn't make any attempt or have any intention of ever actually paying them and resolving the debt. But we just ignore that because the rain's here now. Absolutely not.
Maybe I want to know, did y'all just evict her and put her out on the street with no warning? The apartment complex says the old payment portal was permanently shut down in November. Management supposed
The caption says eviction vacation fraud.
on the street with no warning. The apartment complex says the old payment portal was permanently shut down in November. Management supposedly posted a notice in the leasing office as well as emailed every resident letting them know of the change. The apartment complex forwarded me instructions on how they make their new payment. From the email forwarded to me is clear instructions on how to make the payment, and you're doing it through Zelle. From the documentation that I received, December, January, February, March, April, May, and June, all payments were not received. The eviction process started when it was 4 months behind, which was from December to March. The victim is saying that she has successful Zelle confirmations from December to June. The apartment complex sent 4 notices of non-payment that she, I'm assuming, ignored. According to the records from the apartment complex, it shows that a process server was photographed giving each notice on the door after each visit for the non-payment. Management of the apartment complex had filed the eviction. The court date came and the tenant didn't show up. The court records entered as a default judgment, and instead of 3-day notice to evict was issued. The sheriff's office went in, carried out the court order, and the locks was changed. What happened with her stuff inside the apartment, baby, I don't know. But a new family submitted an application, they passed the screening, they signed the lease, and they literally moved in. This is all according to the apartment complex. The victim is saying that she got this specific number from the previous leasing manager that went on maternity leave. This is where the money need to be Zelled to. Maybe I want to know, did y'all just evict her and put her out on the street with no warning? The apartment complex.
That's crazy. Dang, that was a lot.
I haven't been.
So it was a dispute, I guess, about the Zelle or whatever, whether or not she paid, which that's an easy thing to prove. So if you did indeed pay those Zelle payments that the apartment complex is saying that they didn't get, then why would you miss court? Where that would have been your opportunity to show that. Sounds like you missed court because the landlord or the apartment complex was telling the truth and you weren't. And you know you're wrong to begin with. So people think that they're just going to be able to come up with anything off the top of their head and just say it. Like, oh, I do have these things. Let me see. That's the beautiful thing about Zelle. You can easily track and trace that transaction. Even if you send it to the wrong place, which I doubt. Let us see that. It doesn't exist. People will lose their job and then just start, or whatever hardship they may go through, because maybe it's a hardship, but then their first instinct isn't just to lead with humility and just explain the situation honestly and genuinely and try to see if they can work something out. It's just to start lying and make it, and then not just lying, trying to make you out to be a liar.
In this field long, but this is one of the craziest evictions I've seen. I've seen people in my comments that's been in this industry for like 20 plus years. I know y'all seen worse than this. It took forever to get her gone. Didn't pay rent for months. She doesn't try to get help. I do know that she did have a job at Amazon. You can make some good money at Amazon. I don't really know what her other obligations were. Her daughter is special needs. I was told this by the previous manager and also the previous leasing agent, my friend that I told y'all about. I don't know if it's special needs or if she just got a behavior issue. She used to cuss her mama out and some more stuff. I'm taking the car. This is my motherfucking car. And how's your mama gonna get to work? Like, she would take the car and we would see her mom walking up and down, going to the store, coming back. You gonna let your child do this to you? Then she had another adult that lived with her too. I don't know what was wrong with him. He was a man of not many words. I don't know if he works or not, because every time I seen him, he's in that unit playing the game. Let me tell you how I know that. Their lights were out at one point, and
Yeah, that's usually how that works. And by that, how that works, I'm referring to, yeah, bums are usually men of many little words, especially when you start dealing into the Section 8, because they have to make sure that they don't say much. They don't want to make a slip up, mess something up. So they're just perfectly fine. You ain't going to see them. You ain't going to hear from them. You know, they just bum-ish, you know, they just on bum-ish. So yeah, they ain't going to say nothing. They're going to speak when spoken to, and that's it.
he works or not, because every time I seen him, he's in that unit playing the game. Let me tell you how I know that. Their lights were out at one point, and you're responsible for your electricity. One of the maintenance men found that they had a extension cord running from the hallway outlet into their actual unit. So I
Wow.
go, knock on the door, let them know that they can't do that, and the guy answered the door, and I see him with his hand, his controller in his hand, and I see in the back that obviously he's playing the game. So I tell him, no, this is stealing power. You cannot do that. You're going to have to take this extension cord, bring it back into your unit. If you don't have power, call ComEd. As I left, I see his mom, or whoever she is to him, I truly don't know. I see her pull up in her car, and she looks a mess, y'all. She really do look a mess. Hair is all over the place. It looks like she just got off work. I knock on her window to let her know the same thing I just told her son, this man, I don't know who he is to her. When she rolled down her window, she looking up at me. I noticed that her eyes are red, and I feel so bad because it's like, damn, you must be going through a lot right now. But I had to tell her exactly what she had to know. You cannot steal power from the building. You would have to speak with ComEd, but I also gave her CETA's information. They help with paying with utilities and things. She said thank you, and I just went about my day. Like, I truly don't care that that's what they were doing, but since they brought it to my attention, I gotta do what I gotta do. This entire time she's been going through this eviction, they keep pushing back her date.
come back this day, come back this day, come back this day. It's just kept getting pushed back. So she's been here for months of non-payment. They've been going through this since before I even started. So she came to the office one day and she was just like, they're not being fair to me. This isn't fair. They won't even let me pay my rent if I wanted to. At this time, I just started, so I really didn't know the ins and outs.
Yeah, because you can't try to pay it now month to month. I feel bad. And the biggest thing that I feel bad about is the fact that it sounds like that woman's working hard, but you got a grown man who's refusing to work and just wants to play the game and wants to be comfortable. And this is what happens. This is what happens when men aren't being raised by men, honestly, because there's no way that a father is just going to let his son, especially his only son, sit in the house and play games all day, even if the son is a child. It's just not going to happen, especially a real man, someone who's productive themselves. They're not going to be being productive, and then their son is living up in here in the lap of luxury, pampered. No, you going to do something. You going to make my life easier. You going to help me with some of the stuff I got to do. And so that would then transfer into that son, and they start getting some good habits. But you can tell whoever this dude is who comes to the door with his controller in his hand, he clearly can solve problems. The lights went out. He was able to solve the problem. He was able to hook that extension cord up so that he can continue business as usual. But why does he not work? She's clearly said it multiple times. This is a grown man. This is someone who's working age. You just gonna sit in his apartment with no lights on, no electricity before you get a job? That's pitiful.
They're not being fair to me. This isn't fair. They won't even let me pay my rent if I wanted to. At this time, I just started, so I really didn't know the ins and outs still, but I'm letting her tell me what's going on. The guy that was sitting in your spot at first, he wouldn't let me pay. He even made me sign something that says that they won't be accepting none of my payments anymore. We cannot accept payments unless it's the full amount. If you're going to pay the full amount, sure.
Right.
But if you're making a partial payment, there's no use. There's no point. I'm just nodding my head. I'm just like, man, that's messed up. Man, there's nothing I can really do. I really don't know what's going on. We finally got her out back in August, and that was my first time ever sitting into eviction court. And the previous manager was telling me, like, this is what it does, this is what it is, this is where you have to go. She's basically just telling me everything about eviction court. They gave us a date where she had to be out, and she abided by it. So when we go through her walkthrough, I see an eye-opening experience. It was shit everywhere on the walls, dirty diapers in the corner. It was just a bunch of bullshit every motherfucking where. She had like a dirty ass sheet.
You think they were just living like that? Do y'all think they were just living like that with ish on the wall and diapers hanging from the ceiling fan? No, I don't. That was spite. Didn't I tell you about that spite? They were spiteful because they knew they were getting evicted. And so they decided they was going to F up the property in an egregious manner, atrocious manner, a disgusting manner. And this is, remember what I said, you give people more time. They just got more time to just, they'll, people won't get a job and put no effort into that, but they'll put effort into actually spiting you and destroying your property. That takes effort. I would assume you try not to get no ish on you. So you gotta you gotta do this in a somewhat clean way, which is ironic in itself. But that doesn't, they wasn't just living like that. They decided to do that so that they would get the surprise of a lifetime when they walked in the property. And now somebody's got to clean it up ultimately. I don't even know how you clean that up.
It was shit everywhere on the walls, dirty diapers in the corner. It was just a bunch of bullshit every motherfucking where. She had like a dirty ass sheet hanging from like this part. It's fucking disgusting. I'm leaving. At the time, the previous manager had her brother cleaning and everything. So I'm just looking like, is you finna have that man clean it? Because I wouldn't be cleaning shit. I'd quit right now. He cleaned it and it was gross. Like, I was disgusted. I want to say a few days go by and one of our tenants came and was like, yeah, the lady that y'all evicted.
Yeah, I would have. Hey, he cleaned it. You got to give me a bonus for cleaning this. I want my Christmas bonus early. But no, I'm not cleaning it. I would have been the same way. I'd have walked in and been like, nope. Start taking my stuff. Listen, I'd have been like, nah, you're going to have to hire a professional for this. Imagine somebody trying to quote you. You call over the phone. You're like, nah, we need to get a professional. They're like, so what do you have us cleaning up? Yeah, it's just a standard apartment cleanup. Like, you send us a picture. And like, well, let me just go ahead and give you a rundown. So there's ish on the wall. Hello? It's gonna be like, it's gonna get to the point to where you, as the landlord, the actual landlord, is gonna continue to work his way up the chain till eventually you got to do it. Because everybody that you hire is like, nah, this ain't worth it. Or you just going to have to really come out some money. You're going to have to pay somebody like they a contractor to clean that. Like they putting in some granite cabinets or something. You're going to have to pay them that type of money to clean that apartment.
Because I wouldn't be cleaning shit. I'd quit right now. He cleaned it and it was gross. Like, I was disgusted. I want to say a few days go by and one of our tenants came and was like, yeah, the lady that y'all evicted, I seen her walking down this street, looked like she was walking towards the hotel. I really am a people person. I truly do care. So I was feeling the way. I'm like, damn. Like, at this point, she's technically homeless. But I had to hardwire my brain as I got deeper into this field. You have to pay your rent. You have to pay where you lay your head, or you're not going to have a roof over that motherfucker. Lady didn't pay in months. She was well over 10K. More time goes by, the new manager comes in, and the lady...
I wouldn't have been feeling bad. Listen, whether you did it on purpose or not, if you're living like that, you know that that's going to put people off. So when you have to get up out of there, why you don't clean that up? Why didn't you clean it up and think of someone else? How are you going to be doing things to make everybody else's life harder? Literally creating problems that create jobs that nobody wants to fill. You're creating problems that people don't even want to solve those problems for however much money you offer them. They're like, yeah, getting ish off the wall. I don't know what I mean. Heck, $1 million. Who wants to do that? So it's no secret why you end up in the situation that you're in when you're doing people like that. You should never be bold enough in someone else's property for there to ever be a ish streak on the wall. That is insane.
Is calling, asking to see if we can give her a good review as far as like the landlord verification. I heard y'all have a new manager. I wanted to see if someone can make sure that my landlord verification will get done and also that it's good. You know, I left the unit good. You know, I wasn't really much of a problem. I just fell behind. So I was just wondering to see if y'all could give me a good review. Absolutely fucking not. That shit you left on the walls, you left the unit good? Did you think that I forgot? How can I forget shitty walls? Remember how you left the actual unit, right? And you remember how you didn't pay rent for like 10 months? Oh, well, yeah, I just won't do the landlord verification for you, baby. It's either that or I tell them the truth. And honestly, y'all, I didn't give a fuck because you just tried to play me. I don't do well with that. I want to hear y'all stories. What's the worst eviction or move out?
Nah, I'm gonna be honest, man. You got to do your duty in this situation. No pun intended. You got to do your duty, and your duty is to make it to where this don't happen again to somebody else. I'm gonna be real. That's crazy. I wouldn't want that karma back on me if I had an opportunity to let somebody know what it is and I didn't. Cause that's egregious. That's next level. Like, ma'am, you're just intentionally out here just doing the most. And so if I have the opportunity, you're gonna be bold enough to give me the opportunity. Oh yeah, I'm putting you on Front Street because why why would you even sit here to try to gaslight me like I don't remember what you did? And just see, and that's the thing. People will be leaving a wake of destruction everywhere they go, and then they'll have a new thing pop up, a new situation, and all of a sudden now they're good. Like, oh yeah, I got an opportunity now. So I'm perfectly fine. I'm not listen, we're water under the bridge. No, it's not water under the bridge. It's water under the bridge for you because you moving on with your life. But you owe us 10 grand. Really, you owe us more than that. Because who knows how much it costs for them to have to really just get that property all the way back to par to be able to get rented out. I can imagine what it probably smelled like in there. They had to pretty much probably gut that apartment out. And I mean, who knows, man? Who knows? It'll probably never be the same. I really feel bad for whoever gets that unit. They should designate that unit for, well, we'll leave it there for today. Y'all, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. It only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype the video, hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and it shows the points. And since I'm a smaller creator, a smaller channel, we actually get more points per hype. And hype was designed for smaller channels, so that's why. But if you come across a video and you don't see the hype button, then it's probably been over 7 days. And hype usually vanishes after 7 days. So it's usually best practice if you want to hype to just go ahead and hype while the iron is hot on a newer video. And also, if you want to become a member of the channel as well, join buttons on the video. And what becoming a member of the DXU family would come with is you would get badges next to your comments. And you would also get access to early content and also exclusive content that's not available for everyone else on YouTube. So again, if you want to become a member, join buttons on the video. But until then, I'll see you in the next video.